Before you even zip up your bag, here's the twist. In 2025, many U.S. airlines are enforcing a stricter standard for carry-ons. 22 by 14 by 9 inches, wheels and handles included. Think your roller fits? This year, more travelers are being told at the gate that it doesn't. And it's not just about dimensions. Fees are creeping higher, security checks are tougher, and some totally ordinary items are now getting flagged. I'll even tell you the one thing that got me pulled aside last month. Something you probably have in your kitchen right now. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to pack smarter, sidestep the new pitfalls, and pick up insider tricks airlines and TSA don't exactly put in the brochure. And let's be honest, some of these rules sound obvious, yet millions of passengers still get caught by them every single year. Step into any TSA line and you'll see the same scene. Bins filling up with water bottles people forgot to dump, fancy perfumes barely used, even luxury creams worth a couple $100s. TSA's own numbers show that in 2024, millions of passengers still lost liquids at the checkpoint. Proof that even after all these years, this rule is far from mastered. The basics in the US haven't changed. Bottles must be 3.4 ounces or less, all inside a single quart-size clear bag. One bag per traveler, no exceptions. Anything bigger? Say goodbye, no matter how expensive it was. Across the Atlantic, 2025 is shaping up as a turning point. Some airports, London Heathrow, Amsterdam Schiphol, already let passengers bring bigger bottles thanks to next-gen CT scanners. Germany briefly followed, then reversed course in mid-2024 after security pushback. But the overall EU trend is clear. The old 100 milliliter limit is slowly being phased out, and more airports are lining up to ditch it altogether over the next few years. For now, though, it's a messy patchwork. One terminal lets you breeze through, the next forces you to dump half your bag. The obsession with liquids goes back to August 2006, when UK officials uncovered a plot to disguise liquid explosives as soda bottles. The fallout was massive. Flights grounded, airports paralyzed, and even coffee shops at Heathrow banned takeout cups for months. Only then did regulators carve out today's 100 milliliter allowance. Fast forward to today. Scanners are sharper, the tech is faster, but the threat hasn't disappeared. That's why the rule remains in place. The big question is, how much longer? DHS hinted in July 2025, after announcing an end to mandatory shoe removal, that a similar rethink on liquids could come sooner than expected. It won't vanish overnight, but instead of 2040, we may be looking at the early 2030s, or even earlier, for a real change in the US. So before you bet on new tech giving you a free pass, remember, until the rules officially change, that oversized bottle of shampoo is still a gamble. And losing it at the checkpoint isn't just inconvenient. It might earn you an unflattering cameo on someone's TikTok feed. Yes, your insulin pen isn't going to end up in the trash with somebody's half-drunk Evian. The liquid rule may look brutal, but it does leave room for some common sense, if you know how to play it. And in a minute, I'll tell you about the family who had to dump 2 cartons of milk at the checkpoint, all because they didn't follow one tiny step. Prescription meds are the easiest case. Insulin, liquid antibiotics, steroid creams. You can bring them, even if the bottles are bigger than 100 milliliters. The trick is keeping them in the original packaging with a label that matches your ID. TSA officers don't want to debate your medical history. They just want to see that the bottle of mystery fluid really belongs to you. Over-the-counter stuff gets some leeway too. Saline solution for contacts, cough syrup, even Ensure. But don't assume it'll sail through like a granola bar. One traveler joked his protein shake got more attention from TSA than he ever did on dating apps. The officers swabbed it, stared at it, then finally waved him on with a raised eyebrow. That extra few minutes can feel like forever when your boarding group is already on the move. Baby-related liquids are also on the exception list. Formula, breast milk, juice boxes for toddlers, plus the ice packs that keep them cold. They're all fine, but you have to pull them out and declare them. A father recently shared how he lost 2 full packs of milk simply because he left them buried under diapers. By the time he fished them out, the officer had already tossed them. Medical gels and ointments qualify as well. Hydrocortisone, aloe, Voltaren, Neosporin. They'll usually trigger an extra check, but it's not dramatic. Most times it's just the bag being pulled aside, an officer giving it a quick test, and you moving on. So here's the takeaway. When it's about health, childcare, or real medical needs, TSA will usually cut you some slack, as long as you're upfront. Label what you can, hand it over with confidence, and you'll save yourself grief. Try to sneak it through, and your baby's juice might just end up on Instagram as part of a Things TSA Confiscated Today reel. These aren't just bottles you'll have to toss at security. They're the ones that could literally get a flight turned around if they slip on board. First up, anything flammable. Gasoline, lighter fluid, propane canisters. If it belongs in a garage, not a suitcase, it's a hard no. One traveler even tried to pass off stove fuel. The agent didn't laugh, and neither did the fire crew who got called over. Then there are sprays meant to stop bears, not neighbors. Pepper spray, mace, those giant canisters from Yellowstone gift shops. They work in the woods, but in a pressurized cabin, they'd turn row 22 into a riot drill. Toxic chemicals are another deal breaker. Bleach, pesticides, industrial cleaners. If it could peel paint, it's not flying with you. TSA officers say they see these more often than people realize, usually from travelers swearing, "It's just for my garden." Nothing screams vacation like a gallon of weed killer, right? Alcohol has a ceiling too. Mini bottles under 70% ABV? Totally fine. But once you cross into rocket fuel territory, like Everclear or 151 proof rum, it's staying behind. If Hollywood uses it for fire stunts, don't expect it in your carry-on. And then there's mercury, the sneaky one. Those old glass thermometers with silvery liquid, banned outright. A passenger once had to surrender grandma's antique thermometer at a checkpoint, and it became a family story nobody saw coming. Even some modern barometers and gadgets with mercury inside are treated the same. Break one midair, and suddenly you're starring in a hazmat drill at 35,000 feet. The bottom line is simple. If a liquid belongs more in a science lab, a workshop, or a campsite than in your bathroom cabinet, don't even pack it. Otherwise, you'll see it end up in a clear bin at security, wedged between someone's $200 face cream and a bottle of souvenir rum that looked a little too explosive for comfort. Think that 20 € ticket across Europe means your bag flies free? Not so fast. In 2025, budget carriers like Ryanair, EasyJet, and Wizz Air have turned the free carry-on into a moving target. Your trusty roller might board one flight, then get slapped with a 40 € fee on the return, even if it's the exact same bag. One traveler called it being fined for carrying my own stuff, and honestly, that sums it up. If you're American, it's not that different from flying Spirit or Frontier, where a personal item is free, but the overhead roller costs extra. Even legacy airlines like United and American do the same with their basic economy fares. The seat looks cheap until your bag tips the scales. Ryanair recently expanded its free personal item size to 40 by 30 by 20 centimeters, but enforcement is stricter than ever. Soft backpacks can sometimes squeeze by. Hard shell rollers usually can't. It's the same story as in the US. The seat is the bargain, but the bag is the business. So if you're flying budget in Europe, pack like you're flying basic economy at home. Assume the airline will measure, weigh, and monetize every inch of space. That way, you're not the one pulling out your wallet at the gate while everyone else boards. Every traveler loves a good power bank until it starts smoking at 35,000 feet. After a fire incident earlier this year forced an Airbus full of passengers to evacuate in Korea, airlines doubled down on what's allowed. The rule is simple. If your charger packs more than 160 watt-hours, it's not coming on board. Think of it this way. Under 100 watt-hours, about 27,000 milliamp hour, you're good to go in your carry-on. Between 100 and 160 watt-hours, possible, but you'll need airline approval before boarding. Bigger than that, you're basically carrying a car battery in disguise, and TSA isn't playing chauffeur. And whatever you do, never stash a power bank in checked luggage. In May 2025, a China Southern flight out of Hangzhou had to turn back after a power bank ignited in a passenger's checked suitcase. The flames were caught just in time, but not before smoke filled the cargo hold. That's exactly why airlines insist these batteries stay in the cabin. Upstairs, the crew can grab an extinguisher. Down below, it's a fire you can't even see. Now about smart luggage, the techie cousin of this mess. USB ports, GPS trackers, built-in scales. Sounds like James Bond meets Samsonite. But if security asks whether the lithium battery can be removed, and the answer is no, that smart bag suddenly becomes very dumb. Pro tip, always check for a little release tab or a screw panel near the charging port. If you can pop the battery out easily, you're good. If not, you're shopping for a replacement suitcase at the terminal gift shop. Different airlines treat them differently. Some are fine if you detach the battery and carry it separately. Others simply won't allow non-removable versions at all. The thinking is straightforward. A glitch in the cabin can be handled in seconds, but a meltdown below deck means the crew is flying blind. Or as one flight attendant put it, up here we can grab a fire extinguisher. Down there, we're just praying. Before you show off your high-tech suitcase on Instagram, make sure it actually passes the unplug test. Otherwise, the only thing flying across the Atlantic will be you, while your $400 smart bag sits in the rejected luggage pile at O'Hare. You'd expect fireworks or gasoline to be banned, but baby powder, tent poles, grandma's sewing scissors, those are the things that keep catching travelers in 2025. Makes you wonder, how many harmless items in your house would instantly turn into contraband at the checkpoint? Powders are the sneakiest. Anything over 12 ounces, protein shakes, bath salts, even flour, gets flagged. One traveler showed up with a giant bag of pancake mix. On an X-ray, that fluffy white powder didn't look like breakfast. It looked like a crime scene. Camping gear is another minefield. Tent stakes, hiking poles, anything sharp and metallic. They light up a scanner like medieval weapons. Picture this. You're headed to a festival in the Alps, your friends are carrying guitars, and you're holding a bundle of steel spikes. Security isn't picturing weekend camping. They're picturing you storming the castle. Scissors and blades still spark the usual drama. Under 4 inches, sometimes they slide. Anything bigger, no chance. A traveler in Madrid tried to insist his massive tailor's shears were art supplies. Security didn't laugh, they just dropped them straight into the bin. Toy weapons also cause chaos. That neon orange water gun for your kid? If it looks vaguely real, it's out. Foam swords, plastic daggers, rubber nunchucks. Yes, even those. The rule is simple. If a child could scare another child with it, airport security will confiscate it before boarding. And sports gear, don't even try. Baseball bats, hockey sticks, lacrosse equipment, they all scream potential weapon to security staff. There was even a passenger in Chicago who insisted he only wanted to practice his swing during a long layover. TSA's response? Not unless you're hitting balls in the cargo hold. His bat was checked. His ego wasn't. The kicker? None of these rules are hidden. Officers see this stuff every single day, and when they confiscate it, the line slows for everyone. So if you don't want to be that person who stalls 100 people just so security can debate the fate of your pancake mix, leave it at home, or at least pack it in checked luggage. So, how do you keep your airport trip from turning into a viral angry passenger clip? It's not about luck. It's about knowing a few moves ahead of time. One of them could literally save you from paying €50 at the gate, and another might keep your $200 lotion from becoming airport trash. Start by checking your airline's baggage page the night before. I know, it's boring, but airlines love to tweak policies without warning. One day your bag fits, the next day it's oversized by half an inch. It's like dating. What was fine yesterday mysteriously changes overnight. Next, think about your power bank. Keep it in your carry-on, not your checked bag. Yes, the battery fits perfectly next to your shoes. But you don't want to be the reason the captain comes on the intercom saying, "We're turning back because of a fire in the hold." That's not the kind of announcement you want credited to you. Liquids? Stick to the 100 milliliter rule, even at airports with shiny new scanners. One traveler bragged about getting her full-size cream through London, only to lose it at her Frankfurt connection. For the rest of the trip, every photo caption was about the lotion that never made it. Jet lag fades, face cream heartbreak lingers. And here's an underrated trick. Give your bag a comedy check before you leave home. Not with an X-ray. Just lay everything out and imagine a TSA officer staring at it on the screen. Tent stakes, giant scissors, or a lacrosse stick look odd enough in your living room. On a monitor, they look like props from an action movie. If you'd laugh seeing it on an X-ray, chances are they won't. Finally, if you're ever unsure, use Ask TSA on social media. Send them a picture, and a real human will answer you. People ask about everything from gel shoe inserts to spaghetti. Yes, spaghetti. The answer? Pasta with sauce is allowed, but a tub of tomato puree is not. Apparently, that crosses a line. The winning move here is simple. Pack for the version of you that shows up tired, late, and stressed. If that person can glide through security without drama, you've done it right. And the only TikTok you'll star in is the one you film on vacation, not the one where your bag gets pulled apart in front of 200 strangers. Flying with just a carry-on in 2025 isn't the simple hack it used to be. Between liquid limits that change by airport, low-cost airlines turning tape measures into weapons, and gadgets that can literally ground a flight, the rules have become a moving target. But here's the upside. Once you know the game, you can play it better than most. You'll walk past the security line while someone else is arguing about pancake mix. You'll slide your bag under the seat while half the plane gets tagged for gate check. And you'll still have that lotion safely in your quart bag instead of starring in a tragic Instagram rant. So go into your next trip armed with knowledge, not drama. That way, the only stories you tell are about your vacation, not about the day you became a cautionary tale at Terminal 3. If this helped you dodge a few headaches, hit that like button. Got your own TSA horror story or a weird item that actually made it through? Drop it in the comments. I read them all, and the best ones might show up in a future video. And if you want more travel tips that make airports less painful and trips more fun, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Safe travels, and may your carry-on always fit, your power bank stay cool, and your coffee make it through the gate.